What do you say from that example, Karen?
We may have to face some tough consequences like bad grades and disappointing parents when acting out of ignorance. Those challenges could help us to realize the importance of making informed choices.
That's a great example. This isn't just about regretting our past mistakes. It's about learning and moving forward. Paul reminds Timothy to fight the good fight and keep faith and a good consistency.
I love that. It's like we have a chance to navigate our lives with that knowledge and awareness now. When we act in ignorance, we can look to the future and choose to see God's guidance.
Right. And remember, it's a journey. Just because we stumble doesn't mean we can't get back up again.
And talking about get back up, when Paul mentions Eumenes and Alexander, he's illustrating that rejecting faith can lead to serious consequences. It's a warning, but also a call to put our focus back on Jesus.
So what can we do this week to turn knowledge into action?
Great question. Let's encourage each other to seek wisdom. You can read a chapter of Proverbs, which offers so much practical advice, or how about discussing things that really matter with trusted friends or mentors.
And when we mess up or make decisions that don't reflect our faith, let's remember God's grace that covers our ignorance.
Absolutely. Let's remind ourselves, no matter our past, God sees our potential and calls us into His service.
As we are approaching to end of our episode, we want to thank you for joining us today, everyone. We hope this conversation helped you understand the importance of seeking wisdom and learning into God's grace when we mess up.
Remember, it's a journey. Let's take it together and keep fighting the good fight.
Until next time, keep growing your faith and knowledge. Bye. Ronald and Angel, is there any comments you guys have about ignorance?
I think they cannot hear you.
Yeah, I don't think you can hear.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we apologize for the technical difficulty. My brother Ronald and Angel, I think they can listen to us. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. They read the whole script. All right. So the first things that I'm gonna ask before I go back to Ronald and Angel, I'm gonna ask you, Guy, when it comes to you, what do you understand acting as in ignorance? You know, what is come to your mind? What is the thoughts that you guys have when you heard that?
I would probably say just acting Oh, the way I would define acting in ignorance is just acting without thinking, like making choices without thinking about it first. I feel like anything that you just do out of impulse is acting in ignorance because you never think of like the outcome, or you never think of what could happen. You're just thinking in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. You're too fat.
Fats.
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Um, I think that I try to connect with the with the audio, but I don't know if you can take it over, Gigi. Respond. I'm sorry. I'm struggling with the audio here.
Ronald, my brother, and myself, and and it's funny because I what did we did we go to no, what did we do?
I know we
Um,
did the River Walk.
yes,
This we're talking about like back in 2005, 2006. So this was 20 years ago. Um, we had a lot of fun. I remember that.
yeah, it was fun, but what stuck to me was it was close to 11 p.m., 12 p.m., and I remember at the time you and my brother were going out already,
Hmm. Oh yeah, we were old
and
enough to. We were
and
old enough to go out.
yes, they were old enough. I wasn't yet, and they were trying to get me into a few places of bars that it shouldn't. But it's crazy because it goes to that little opening had bigger openings later on in life because I was almost there. I was almost there to attend a place, and that I shouldn't be, and it brought me to, you know what? If I was able to do this at this age, then I can get away with
Mm.
going somewhere else. And it's just those small little the small decisions. But yeah, also before that, I was getting to know God, and I remember being able to go to his conferences, and because of those conferences, I was able to get to have a relationship with God even closer and feel His Spirit, and that led into, you know what, I can do this now
Hmm.
too. So it goes back to, what are you going to choose?
Mm. Who you're gonna serve, you know? And then it's important to. I was thinking when you're hanging out, because I'm still thinking about all these quotes, you know, that our parents tell us and told us. They would tell us, "Don't do," and I tell my boys is, "Don't do good things that look like bad things."
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, no hagas cosas buenas que parecen cosas malas. That's what they would say, and that's true. Like don't. Sometimes we hang out with certain friends and it's like, oh well, you know, this is innocent. It's innocent. You know, you keep things that are secret that don't really have to be a secret, or you're hanging. You know, if your friend's telling you, oh well, don't tell anybody about this. Well, why? You know, there's things that you hold from your parents that don't really need to be held from your parents. And it looks like it's a bad thing. And then when your parents find out about it, and if the parents wind up getting on you, and you're just like, but I wasn't doing anything bad. And you weren't, but it looked bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it looked wrong. I'm not getting on you guys. Don't You're not in trouble. Look, you guys all sitting at the panel like y'all all in trouble.
But
Okay.
sometimes, whenever you you capture that, it's God's tugging at your heart.
Mm.
Not that you did it, but it's a, hey, here are the stories for later on when you face something, because you guys are gonna face stuff that we faced, or things that we didn't face.
Hmm.
Um, and you're not gonna be perfect.
Right.
And you're gonna fail, and it's okay. But don't forget that God and Jesus, they're not just they're not just in the background.
Hmm.
They're next to you.
Yeah.
Um, we can talk in here about so many stories in our lives, and at the end of the day, who the the who didn't leave our side was God and Jesus,
Right.
and the Holy Spirit was always there, ready to fill us with an even a moment of peace when everything was when we're in the trenches.
Yeah, and I'm looking here too. One of y'all said it's a journey. You know, remember it's a journey. I think was it Peyton? Did you say that
Yeah.
remember it's a journey? It is a journey. And I said, but while you're on that journey, who's walking with you? And like it's so fitting. Like we really didn't plan this, guys. I promise you, we did not plan this. 100 years ago, 20 years ago, when we were like running the streets in San Antonio, doing all this kind of stuff, we did not plan that. Me and Angel, actually, the church that we grew up in, we no longer attend that church, obviously, because we go to church with y'all. We did not plan that 20 years ago. Okay, well, you're now going to go to another church, and then I'm going to somehow go to that church, and we're going to find each other, and then we're going to do a podcast together, and we're going to talk about our youth when we were together, when we were kids. So the journey popped out. That word popped out to me. Remember to get key people in your life right now that are going to be there on your journey with you, that are going to help you, because there's some people that are going to be walking with you and they are not going to be there to, support you. You want people 20 years from now, you want 20 years from now for you guys to be sitting next to somebody doing a podcast or wherever else you may be. Who knows? Y'all may end up in Colorado and be like, oh my God, Jacob, like, Jacob, I didn't even know you go to this church or whatever else, And it's like Jacob's like, dang, you're old now, So I mean, literally, we're old. We have kids of our
Yes.
own, and y'all see, I don't have as much hair as I used to. Believe it or not, I used to have a fro. I'm serious. I used to have hair back in the day and muscles and things like that, but it's all right. The Lord still uses me. I'm still on my journey, and but know who you're with, because also I love this verse in the Bible. It says, "How can two people walk together and not have the same vision?
Yeah.
How can you walk together?" And like some of you guys, you say, "But it's my friend, and they've always been my friend." How can you? And I love to think of it like if you're walking in the woods and you're going hiking, how is it possible that one person is planning to go forward and the other person is planning to go backwards? You're not
Mhm.
walking together. That's just impossible. Like you're going in completely two different directions,
Yes.
and that's what happens with us with our friends that are not Christian. They're literally wanting to go in a completely different direction, and you're trying to build a relationship and be this kid that honors God and honors your parents, and that's the opposite from them, you know.
And
Yeah.
And
just for everybody know, I think the audio was kind of like having some complications. So I would ask the kids to repeat what they said about from the beginning. About this particular topic. I know Jenna will say something. Jenna, what was the portion that you were saying
Which part?
from the beginning? Because
Welcoming everybody?
no,
From session 1, verse 2.
or Jacob, if you were there.
Yes. No matter how far we go or the mistakes we make out of ignorance, God's grace is abundant. It's easy to beat ourselves up over our past, but this passage reminds us that God can use our stories as a testament to his patience and forgiveness.
Wow, that's good. That's good, and I believe um, it was Chase who said something after.
Um, it was after Gianna said something, but it was definitely when a person thinks it's just harmless fun to join in with friends who didn't care about their studies. The person acted in ignorance of how that would affect his or her future.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so true, and I believe Gianna or Bella or even Peyton said something after. 'Cause I want you to repeat it because people were not able to hear it very clear with the audio.
Yes, I agree with what Chase said that decisions you make now is going to affect your future. And you could have really big consequences for the little decisions you make. Peyton, what do you think about the example?
I think we may have to face tough consequences like bad grades and disappointing our parents when acting out of ignorance, but these challenges could help us realize the importance of making informed choices.
Yeah. This isn't just about regretting our past mistakes, it's about learning and moving forward. Paul reminds Timothy to fight the good fight and to keep faith and a good conscience.
I love that. It's like we have a chance to navigate our lives with knowledge and awareness now. When we act in ignorance, we can still look to the future and choose to seek God's guidance.
Right, and remember, it's a journey. Just because we stumble doesn't mean we can't get back up again.
And talking about getting back ups, when Paul mentions Jimenez and Alexander, he's illustrating that rejecting faith can lead to serious consequences. It's a warning, but also a call to put our focus back on Jesus.
So, what can we do this week to turn knowledge into action?
Great question. Let's encounter each other to seek wisdom. We can read a chapter of Proverbs, which offers so much about practical advice, or how about discussing things that really matter with trusted friends or mentors?
And when we mess up or make decisions that don't reflect our faith, let's remember God's grace that covers our ignorance.
Yes, let's remind ourselves no matter our past, God sees our potential and calls us into His service.
As we are approaching to end of our episode, we want to thank you for joining us today, everyone. We hope this conversation helped you understand the importance of seeking wisdom and learning into God's grace when we mess up.
Remember, it's a journey. Let's take it together and keep fighting the good fight.
Until next time, keep growing in your faith and knowledge. Adios.
That's good.
All
That was good.
right.
Great seeing you guys.